All right, during that commercial break, of course, we're keeping up for you on the president's cabinet meeting. It's his first of 2026. Everybody's assembled, and it has been really informative. A lot of deliverables from the Trump administration so far. And Kayleigh mentioned this. We are awaiting word from Kristi Noem, the DHS secretary. With all that's gone on in Minneapolis and Twin Cities as a whole, because the church that got hit there by those agitators and rioters was in St. Paul, so the Twin Cities in general. But we are watching to see. She has been under pressure, Secretary Noem, for some of the things that have happened, including the deaths of 2 of those agitators, under pressure for the investigation, how it's handled, that sort of thing, and just the operations of ICE. And so with all of that, the president has been very vocal about supporting her publicly. The question now becomes, what will she say at this gathering? As everybody is bringing their updates to bear right now. We've been talking a little bit about it. You know, Kayleigh, one of the things that we've seen was a dynamic change on the ground in Minneapolis with Tom Homan. Not just Kristi Noem and her name bubbling up to, well, who wants to talk about this and take accountability versus what Minnesota calls, I mean, I'm not even going to repeat some of the political rhetoric there because it's horrible. But that's part of this whole thing. But Greg Bovino, the head of the Border Patrol, who is on the ground, too. So it's a complete shift.
Complete shift. Tom Homan gave this morning what I think should be a model for any time you communicate on this issue. The number 1 issue is the economy, which is why I'm glad you went through what Scott Turner said. It's on people's minds. Number 2 is immigration. And Tom Homan flipped everything on its head this morning. Yes, he stood up for ICE officers. Yes, he reviewed the Biden record of 10 million illegal immigrants came in, 2 million gotaways. That should scare everyone. He is right about that. But he also said what has happened on the ground is not perfect. And anyone who has come to me and said what we are doing is perfect, I have pushed back and I said nothing is perfect. We're here to make changes. We're here to go by the book. And he clearly set down a set of rules that will protect the citizenry, bring in Keith Ellison, bring in local law enforcement. He gave deliverables to the point you mentioned that Keith Ellison, now when people leave county jail, they finish their sentence, guess what? They're going into the hands of ICE. That makes everyone safer. It's safer to arrest someone out of jail than on the streets. So Tom Homan has shifted everything in a way that is a huge value added to this administration.
You know, Guy, I want to push in a little bit on what Keith Ellison actually said. He said that they may now, local municipalities, police departments, sheriff's departments, they may now, which sounds like allowance from a sanctuary state, pick up the phone as they are releasing these criminal illegals, violent, into the communities again, pick up the phone to the federal agents and say, we're about to let these guys go, we're giving you a heads up. That's what Ellison said. So my big question is, are they no longer a sanctuary jurisdiction while this goes on? And how much is that going to cost them when, say, Amy Klobuchar or another Democrat runs for governor?
Or are they using weasel words to try to placate the administration temporarily to get a federal pullout that they can then spike the football on and go right back to their sanctuary nonsense? That's what I think the feds have to be wary of here. Mm-hmm. But if there has been some ground given, I think that would be a positive development. And the thing is, it shouldn't be that hard at all. If you're against ICE officers in communities and neighborhoods, you should be against sanctuary policies. Because if the transfers of these criminal aliens are happening behind bars, that is so much more preferable than these street operations. So it should be a no-brainer. Obviously, it has not been yet, but that might be changing.
Shannon.
Yeah, I think it changes the conversation, the narrative a bit, the way that this has all been laid out by Homan, because if you are against them in the streets, then you have to be for them going to the jails, or else you're not for getting rid of the worst of the worst. That's been the big complaint with people opposing ICE. They're catching all these other people. They're getting American citizens. That's not going to happen if you're going to jail on an ICE detainer and picking up someone that you know what the convictions are, you know exactly who they are.
Yeah. Emily.
Yeah, a quick note on, as we talk about this cabinet meeting, on what Secretary Kennedy said, which I thought was really valuable and important too, as we talk about deliverables. He mentioned the fact that in the president's negotiations and deals that he achieved with these big pharmaceutical companies, that their stocks totally rose. They spiked. And that's in addition to the American people getting their prescription drugs for a much lower cost. So he talked about the fact that everyone benefited. And he also talked about the fact that now our R&D, including the actual medicine, will be able to be obtained here on American soil. He said the next pandemic, guess what? We don't have to rely on China to get those medicines anymore. They are all being made here. Now, I think something's going on, so I'll pause talking for a moment.
All right. The president right now, and we can see Kelly Loeffler there, I think. You can't see it on your screen, but we're able to see quite a few things here in the studio. We've got different camera angles. So as he continues to talk with his cabinet, we're going to take just a quick break and we'll come back.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.